Hi y'all. In this video, I'm going to go over um, an example of how you would sketch the graph of an inverse. So no formulas here. I'm just giving you the graph of a function g of x, and we're going to sketch its inverse. So if you'll remember, the trick algebraically was to switch your x and your y. And that actually holds for everything we're doing. So graphically, that's also the trick. Your inputs and your outputs change. So on each point of G, we're going to switch the X and the Y, and that'll give us a point on G inverse. Oops, sorry for the highlighter. Let me switch back. So for example, this point, sorry, my grid's sort of lame, is -3, 4, which means that G inverse, and you know what, I'm going to pick a different color because this is going to be really hard to tell. Maybe not. G inverse will go through 4, -3. And if G goes through -2, 2, then G inverse will go through 2, -2. And there was a straight line connecting those dots. So when I flip across, I should see a straight line connecting these dots as well. And then that heads straight across to 2, 0, which means G inverse will go through 0, 2. And again, there's a straight line connecting those. So I should be able to make a straight line and connect the dots there. And then last but not least is 3, -2. So G inverse should go through -2, 3, which would be about here. And again, that was a straight line. So I'm going to run that straight line across. Okay, let's see. Of course, if I want to switch pens, the thing is covering it for my recorder. Okay, so let me just pick that. So what happens when you switch each x and y value is really overall a flip, but it's kind of a funny one. It's a flip across y equals x. So if you kind of draw y equals x in there for yourself, you should be able to see that there's kind of a funny reflection that happens. So for example, let me snag my highlighter. This point right here flips across to over here. In fact, this whole segment flips across that diagonal to this segment. And similarly, this big middle chunk flips across to be this big middle chunk. And the last little bit here flips across to be the last little bit here. So flip over y equals x if you want to draw the graph of the inverse. And I want you to think about both the big picture where you flip across and you can kind of visualize that, and then also the detail part, just like with transformations, where you can pick an individual point and you can switch the x and y coordinates to get your new point. Okay, thanks for watching.